Greetings, fellow model railroaders. My name is Kevin Brown, and I want to thank you for checking out my YouTube channel. Today I'd like to go into what exactly a T-trak module is. It's the basis of my layout, and it's also the most active part of my modular railroad club. I want to go through quickly the basic history of it, how to build them, and the various things you can do with them. Before that, I'd like to talk about updating my layout. I really haven't had a lot of time to work on my layout. However, I have been bothered by a problem right back here. Since I built this, you can see that the platforms stop where they're not supposed to. So I went ahead and on eBay, bought a new platform section. And these things, if you've ever dealt with Kato stuff, you can tell this has been around a while. They haven't used this kind of boxes in quite a few years. I need to modify this to fit in there. So that's what I'm going to work on next after I take a little razor saw to this. So stay tuned. I'll be right back. Well, I'm back. Instead of one long platform, I have two short platforms. And all I have to do is connect them with the provided connectors. Let's see if we can do this. Snap. And now the platforms extend, I see, in behind the bridge. Not a bad little project. Now I'd like to explain what T-trak modules are and explain why I like them so much. First, I would like to define a couple terms. First, there's a difference between modular and sectional. A sectional layout is something that has no standard interface or wiring requirements and is usually designed to go together in just one way. Modular, on the other hand, has very rigid specifications and wiring requirements, usually a national or even international standards, and is very flexible to set up. Modules were of evolution for clubs. Before modules, most clubs had to go and rent space to set up permanent layouts, requiring high membership dues and invariably lease hassles. After the modular approach, clubs no longer needed permanent space, and everyone just brought a piece of their module, a piece of a much larger layout to play with. N-trak is pretty much the granddaddy of all modular approaches. It has rather large modules. 2 foot by 4 foot is the standard, made out of 1 by 4 frames and 1/2-inch plywood tops. It has its own 2 by 2 inch legs with adjustable bolts on the bottom. They're C-clamped together and have standardized wiring and track connections. The first debut of the N-trak system was in 1974. My first experience was when I was in college in 1981. The basic approach has been copied and adapted for many scales, and it can be adapted for a home layout with some work. It's just such a large format. After N-trak came T-trak. It was originally developed in Japan and based around Kato Unitrak. And if you've never worked with any of that stuff, it is amazing. It is extremely robust and reliable and makes for a very good basis for a layout. The modules themselves are much smaller with T-trak. They are made out of 1/8-inch birch plywood. The layouts are designed to fit on standard 30-inch deep by 6 or 8 foot long banquet tables. So you're not bringing the legs with you. The tables are provided. There's no clamping involved. The rail joiners at the end of the Unitrak, that's what's holding everything together. The original design was quite simple, and it was designed actually to be no bigger than a sheet of paper, like this module. It was basically, the original modules had room for one small scene. It was an easy, fast project, and it caught on quite quickly. There was originally, the idea was to have 25 millimeter spacing of the two main lines, which means basically the Unitrak was butted up against each other. It was really too close. I have no idea why they chose that. Quickly, the alternative 33 millimeter spacing, which corresponds to the different spacing for the different radii of Kato Unitrack, was adopted and is really far more standard. A module like this requires little or no woodworking skills. I cut out this with a sharp hobby knife. It's easy to transport. It's easily adaptable to a home layout, like the one behind. After this simple design, things rapidly evolved into much larger modules. This is would be called a single, about a foot long. There are also doubles, triples, and quads. This is a double, which is going to be my Minneapolis thing, my Minneapolis module. I also have a triple module back there. I don't know that quads is such a good idea. A 4 foot long module is kind of a long thing to drag around. Fortunately, there also have been deeper modules like this one, rather than just the 9 inches wide, the original ones, which leave a lot more room for scenery. Fortunately now, there are two manufacturers of kits that are both are very excellent kits. The first on the scene was tkits.com. The only difference with them, the only thing I'd say, you do need a specialized strap clamp to put their stuff together. It's pretty cheap, and they really do go together very nicely. The other more recent manufacturer is Masterpiece Modules. You don't need anything more advanced than a hammer or a rubber mallet for those. I'll put links to both of those right down here. If you are interested in doing some more research on T-trak, I'll provide some links below for other websites to help you on your journey. For my money, it's a very low-cost, easy way to get involved into our wonderful hobby. If you need an excuse to put down that glossy Model Railroad magazine and get out of that comfy armchair and join in the fun, T-trak might be your answer. Next time, the Decatur Train Fair is a week from today, and we will have my group, the N Scale of Bloomington Normal, will be there. I would hope to spend some time and show a T-trak layout in operation at at a show, and also, of course, footage from the other layouts and vendors from Decatur. It's a very nice show. If you like this video, please subscribe, and I would like to leave you with some information on next week's Decatur Train Fair. Hope to see anybody there. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.